The early callers here are indigents of Ogoni land, led by prominent members of the community. The initial speeches flowed with gratitude.
The name of that one man that has changed our story for the better is President Muhammadu Buhari. Ably represented by Mr. Vice President himself, Professor Yemi Otibanjo. Please put your hands together for him as you come here.
The program kicked off in earnest with the arrival of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who's representing President Muhammadu Buhari. First to mount the podium, however, is the Minister for Environment, Amina Mohammed. The minister says the launch is not cosmetic, as the federal government is ready to move into the implementation stage. Shell, on its part, promises to assist the government in the exercise.
It is now a collective responsibility. It will, from today on, require genuine partnerships. It will require that we build trust that we have lost over the decades. It will require transparency and accountability. And it will require proper representation of the people at the grassroots in what we do in investing in their future.
I want to assure Mr. President that the SPDC joint venture remains committed to actively participating along with other stakeholders to ensure that the cleanup is embarked on as soon as possible.
The host governor, Nyesom Wike, notes the UNEP report, which is responsible for this launch, while UNEP, looking back at the journey so far, says its mission accomplished.
The UNEP report, which is the precursor to today's event, is significant for at least two reasons. First, it presents the best available and factually detailed documentation of the scale of the existing and continuing damage to the entire Ogoni environment and, by extension, the Niger Delta. Second, and most significantly, it presents a clear roadmap on the priorities of action by government, stakeholders, and the international community in terms of cleanup, remediation, and restoration of the damage that had accumulated over the years.
In the United Nations family, we are committed to stand by the government of Nigeria, by the people of Ogoni, and together with the partners in the SPDC also, to ensure that what is promised today, what is flagged off today, is truly something that everybody can be held accountable for.
In comes the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Reading out the President's speech, Professor Osinbajo says it's promise made and promise fulfilled. He, however, says the implementation should be a collaborative effort.
We are therefore laying a solid foundation today for the restoration of the fragile ecosystem of Ogoni land and the rest of the Niger Delta. Let this day mark the beginning of the restoration of not just the environment of Ogoni land, but of peace and prosperity to the great land and people of the Niger Delta. This cleanup is for the benefit
at the moment everyone has been waiting for, the official launch of the cleanup program.
And to the glory of God.
The environmental restoration of Ogoni land will take up to 30 years if contaminated drinking water, land, creeks, and important ecosystems such as mangroves are to be brought back to full productive health, as the UNEP report shows that pollution from over 50 years of oil operations in the region has penetrated further and deeper than many may have imagined.